What if you could generate 16 completely different variations of your idea in a single batch of images? That's what we're going to check out today with dynamic prompting. It's one of Sogni's most powerful features for brainstorming on the fly. Check this out. So let's start by getting a logo. But before we do, we need to switch to a model that can do text, which in this case is going to be Flux. We will come back to Real Dream, but for now we're going to use Flux. We're not going to use ControlNet within Flux. Now for the prompt. A minimalist tech logo that says "we all create" in big bold letters written in brushstrokes, and I put vector image. I added tech logo and I added vector image and I added minimalist, all for the exact same reason, because all of those things are going to make it minimalist. Now let's imagine. There's none here, I think, that are exactly what I wanted. Maybe this one's the closest one. That's pretty good. I kind of want it to be a bit bigger than that though. So let's just generate 9 more. Ooh, perfect. I think it's kind of a split between this one and this one. I like that one. That one is probably going to be our winner. But this one has a really cool gradient background that would be useful, you know, if I just wanted to have this as a logo as it is. Especially if I were to upscale it. If I were to upscale this, I bet it would look even better. Yeah, there we go. Honestly, I think that that's our winner, provided that this is going to work in the next step. But we're going to find out. I'm going to add this one to the gallery, and then just as a backup, I also really liked this one. So I don't need to upscale this. I'm just going to add this into the gallery as well. But now we need to switch to a model that supports ControlNet. So let's open up our Model Explorer, hop on over to our ControlNet tab. Now, I do have a tendency of using the models that are at the top of the Model Explorer, but these are in alphabetical order. It's not like the best ones are at the top. So I'm going to actually scroll down and I'm going to go back to using Real Dream because I like this one. It's great for doing both photorealistic images and it can do some kind of interesting creative ones. So let's select Real Dream. It does say a guidance scale of 5 to 7 is needed or is optimal in this case. Right now, our guidance scale is 7.5. I'm going to go ahead, just bring it back down to 7. 7 sounds great. We're going to do a random seed. That is excellent. Let's open up ControlNet and we're going to take this one initially. Now, part of the reason I wanted to use this one is because it doesn't have just a clear, white and black. But what I want to do is I want to see if I use the segmentation preprocessor, which is something I'm going to need to do for this, is it going to do an excellent job or is this white gradient going to kind of throw it off? It's actually perfect. Look at that. It's exactly what I wanted. But first, I want to show you what will happen if I don't use the segmentation preprocessor. We're going to use our tile resample ControlNet for this. And let's scroll back up to our prompt. And now all I'm going to do for our prompt, because I'm using ControlNet, I don't need to say anything about we all create. All I need to do is give it the dynamic prompt. Now the syntax for dynamic prompting is going to be open bracket, choice 1, and then you add a vertical bar or a pipe, which is the button above the enter key on your keyboard. And then you need to do choice 2. And then you can do that really as many choices as you want. And then you do a close bracket. We do not have time for me to try and think of 16 different ideas for this. So what I did is I created a prompt to an LLM, told it what the syntax is, and told it to come up with a list of styles, visual styles and textures and effects and stuff. By the way, this prompt is in the description of the video, so you can easily find it and generate all kinds of textures on your own. Now, I specifically told it to do artistic styles and textures, and I told it to get like really creative and unique on this. So we've got quite a few different ideas here. Let's see what we came up with. Cool. So a couple things you'll notice, they all are kind of similar in terms of the brightness of the image. They all still have that kind of lighter glow on the top right, which you can see, and they all have white-ish or lightly colored letters. You can see them going through each of these. Now, maybe this is the style that you would want. This is actually, it's pretty cool. You could also, if you did it this way, you could invert the image and we could generate again and see what we come up with. There we go. And now we see that it is again kind of following a similar thing. We have a dark section up here. We have dark text. It's actually pretty cool, honestly. Some of these are really cool, but they are not what I'm looking for. So what I'm going to do is turn on the segmentation preprocessor, which is going to separate the text from the background. And it's also going to switch our ControlNet model from tile resample to segmentation, which is what we do want. And you would notice that when I didn't have the segmentation, we have black text here, and that led to the text being black here. But once I do the segmentation preprocessor, it doesn't care what colors this is. If I were to invert this, it wouldn't make any difference. Now let's see what we can come up with now. Here we go. See, this is more what we're talking about. And again, you'll notice that it's not like we have dark text and a white background here. It doesn't matter at all. This one's actually really cool. You kind of have like the we all is in the background, then create in the front. I actually really like that one. Wonder what it would look like upscaled. A little bit clearer. I like it. So then the next step would be to add any of the ones that we like to our gallery. That one I really like. I like this one. I like this one too, but not quite enough. Ooh, that one's awesome. Love it. This is cool. You can see that it added some flowers for the letters. This one I would keep, except for kind of messed up the A here. But other than that, it's pretty rad. Now, just to show you, I'm going to go ahead and invert the colors here. just to show you that it doesn't make any difference. And let's get a new set of textures and artistic styles to do. Isn't this just so rad that you can just, I think this wooden one is probably my favorite one. You know, upscaling these is always an option because these images are being generated in 768 by 768 pixels, as you can see in the bottom right. If we upscale them, it will jump them up to 2048 by 2048 and makes everything much more clear looking, which actually looks pretty great on that one. I'm gonna already add that one to my gallery. But we could also enhance them, which uses flux to just make them look even better. Now, because of the GIF kind of thing that we're doing, I wouldn't do a heavy enhancement because you can see it changed it kind of more than I really wanted it to. So let's undo that enhancement. And actually, I'm just gonna leave that one as it is. Now let's quickly go through, let's add these ones that we want. I like that one. I'm gonna upscale it though, because I think I want the letters to be a little bit more crisp. Yeah. Ooh, I love that one. Let's upscale it, add it. I think I'm gonna upscale this one too. Now, I want some more that are kind of more colorful and out there. So I just told the LLM, in this case, I'm using Claude. So I just told Claude to make it more artistic and colorful. So now we're gonna get some different ones. And imagine once more. And I'm expecting these ones to be much more colorful and awesome looking. Yes, I love it. Okay, let's take a look at these. Nice, we got some pastels. And I'm just gonna quickly go through and upscale and save the ones that I like. This one's so cool. I'm gonna do one more set, but this time I told it to do all nature themed. I just want there to be a ton of variety in what we're doing. That one, what is that, butterfly wings? That one, I think we could probably do better, but I'm just gonna go ahead and skip it for now. Love it. Ooh, this one's even better than the previous little grassy one that we did. All right, so let's now open up our gallery, and I'm gonna select and group and take all of the different ones that I've done. I do like that now with each set of images that you generate and you add several of them to your gallery, it'll automatically put them in a group, which is nice. And I'm gonna merge my groups into one and open it up. And then from here, it's really simple. You would just be saving a copy of each of these, put them in your Finder, put them in a folder or something. And then I would just go online and find a free image to GIF generator where you can upload a bunch of images and then it will automatically generate a GIF, or you can put it into any video editing software that you use. In this case, I'm gonna use Final Cut Pro, and I'm gonna make something awesome like this. Now, before we go, I just want to clarify a couple extra things. You know, the way I did it is I generated, 16 different things within a prompt, and then it will generate 16 different images. But you can put multiple dynamic prompts within a single prompt, and it will multiply the differences that you get. So looking at this example in Sogni's Docs website, we have a portrait of a woman with blonde or black hair holding an apple or an orange. And so we have 4 different variations we can get. We can get blonde hair with an apple, blonde hair with an orange, black hair with an apple, and black hair with an orange. So you could get a tremendous amount of variety by putting multiple dynamic prompts in a single prompt. And the link to this page is in the description, so check it out, learn more, and then make some really cool stuff. And there you have it. And you now know how to use the curly braces and the vertical bar to generate many variations all at once. This is what I love about Sogni. It's not just about generating one image, it's about giving you the tools to explore every creative possibility. Now, if this tutorial helped you unlock something new, then let me know in the comments below and make sure to share your creations with us, and I'll see you in the next one.